Um, to, for those of you who don't know me, this is not a mohawk. This is just a receding hairline right here. That's what this is. This only has a patch of hair right here. Getting older. I just came back from some time with my son. I wanted to. I felt that he has, and I talked to my wife about this, that he's really turned the corner. He has made a lot of progress and improvement in a lot of areas. I feel, and I've been internally very proud of him. I see him becoming more responsible. Yes, there are many things that I wish he would do differently, and things that are not, you know, things need to be worked on, but I can say that for myself, and I'm sure everybody watching this video, there are things that you need to work on. I need to work on things. And he's a very young adult. He crossed that line, and his body is changing. Anyway, I spent some time. I decided, I have a hard time because of the way I was brought up. I didn't receive, no matter how well I did, no matter how well I did, no matter how well I excelled and I exceeded, no matter how above average and how excellent I was, because I'm a striver. I'm good at a lot of things, and I put that on myself. I strive for excellence in almost everything that I do. I am not good at everything, but I try to pick things that whatever I value, that I think is important in life, or a skill that I really want to learn. I get really good at it. I was good in school. I whatever I set my mind to, I did pretty well, and all my life. But when I was young, I felt that I was never good enough. I did not get praise. I don't hardly ever remember. Well, from one of my parents, yes, my mom. From my dad is saved now, so it's different. Um, he was raising me as a non-Christian, and he was himself abused severely. Um, um, my grandfather, his father, was went through two wars, Vietnam and Korea, and war changes people. And my dad went through a lot of abuse, so I never had he didn't get a lot of nurture and encouragement from his dad, and he didn't give that to me. And even though for a while now I've been very proud of my son, I have a hard time telling him. Even if I feel it internally that I want to express that to him, I still kind of hold back, because it feels so almost foreign, because that's not a natural normal thing. Criticism is very normal for me. Even today, even till today, I love my dad, but he still has a hard time acknowledging. He sees something, and he'll pick out the bad thing. The mistake that I did, or what wasn't good, instead of the things that were set up well. And I pass that on to. I have been, and I'm breaking that cycle now, not wanting to be like that and focus on the things that are not done, but I want to encourage the things that are done. And I don't know how to just naturally every day be showing him I am proud of him, because my dad never looked me in the eyes and told me, "Son, I am so proud of you." I don't know what that feels like. and I have a hard time doing that. I want to so badly. I want to become a great encourager, but it's a struggle because it feels it feels weird. So I don't know how to express it with my son, so I decided to just, I told my wife I'm just gonna take him and spend some time with him. And if you watched another video I made earlier today, about going to the store and some issues there. Even earlier today, um, he he made some bad decisions and was fighting with his sister, and that it really bothers me. It really makes me upset when he fights, when the children fight with each other. I mean, he's not a child. He's a very young. He's a young man, but a very young man. But anyway, that's one of my triggers when they fight, and it's just nonsense. It makes me very upset. So we went through that, and we went through it well. We processed things, and we let that be done with. One of the things that also I struggle with is I carry things throughout the day, or it accumulates the things that they don't do that make me upset. Like, I remember it, and it's right there, being able to be withdrawn, and a reason to not reward them almost. So I decided, because overall there's a great improvement. People compliment us on him specifically as being a great oldest brother. I decided, I just gotta, I don't know how to do the everyday thing, so let me just kind of like go for it. And I asked my wife to if I can just take him and spend some time with him. He had a $5 McDonald's gift card, so we went to McDonald's, and I had him buy his own thing. I bought my own thing. He bought it with his card. We sat down, and it was like I had to do that because it was the point of no return for me. I didn't want to make any excuses of me not telling him how proud I am of him. So we sat at the we got our food. We sat down, and it was just the snacks. Not really real food. Just like he got just snack stuff. I got just fun stuff. Sugar stuff that's not healthy, and we don't do that all the time. But and I just told myself I gotta do it. And then I did. I looked at him in his eyes, and I cried a little bit. I tried not to make a scene because I've never heard that myself, but I told him how proud I was of him. And I see all the things that he's trying to do, and I see it. His mom sees it. His grandparents see it. The people at our fellowship see it. Everybody compliments him. And I wanted him to know that, I am your dad, and I'm super proud to be your dad. And I had to do that, the point of no return, and just let him know. He received it so well, so well. He almost cried. I almost cried. I mean, it was like I was shaking when I'm saying it. My eyes are watery. His eyes are watery. We almost cried. And if we did, that's okay. That's okay. It was a beautiful thing. But I want to make new memories with him. And now that I've done that, I feel like it's easier now that I know, I've done it. I said how proud I am of he's my son. I'm so proud of him. Now I can do that more, I believe. So if you're struggling with that, maybe you can do that. Just make it a big deal, and make it a point of no return. And so it's not just in passing. Hey, good job. I'm proud of you. Which is good, which is great, which is a milestone if you've never heard it and you're saying that. But I felt like this was something I needed to do. So to just cross over that line that I've never crossed over, and now I can say that, and I want to become now comfortable in doing this. So also I'm gonna just, and it came to the point where I almost, because of my old default mode, I almost wasn't gonna do this because he kind of, in my mind, quote unquote, messed up. Arguing with his sister against something that was so nonsense, and not being able to resolve that. And then at the store, him not paying attention to the cashier, and a potential situation. Because again, my default is focusing on the bad. I tell you, it was a real thing in my mind internally that said, you know what, today is not. He kind of lost this day. He ruined it. He ruined it because I was gonna do this thing for him, and he ruined it. He was pretty good. This past 2 weeks, but because of today, because of his nonsense, he ain't getting nothing. That was an option. This is the kind of stuff that I struggle with because I focus on what went wrong instead of looking at the overall picture. So I'm glad I went through with it, and I said, you know what? Whatever happened with his sister, that's done and dealt with. We talked about it, we processed it, we prayed, we hugged. That's done. Don't carry. I'm not supposed to carry that around with me the whole day. Hold it against him. That whole thing in the store, that was a learning experience. I got to count that as a learning experience and just leave it. Let it be. And then I got to do what I committed or wanted to do because it's a good thing to tell him how proud I am of it, and I did it. So if, if that helps anybody, make that commitment, go past the point of no return and go do that and get comfortable. I want to get comfortable telling my children I'm proud of them, and there's a lot of issues I got to work through that I deal with internally as a parent because of the things that I went through when I was a child, when I was growing up. So I hope this helps people and encourages them, and go ahead and go do that. Take whether you have one child or more. I have a lot. Well, that's relative. A lot is relative to who you're talking to. But I have multiple children. I don't want to give too much information out here. Tell you how much children I have. Tell their names or anything. But do that one I'm going to do this one at a time. Spend time with them and point out all the good things about them, so they know when I look at them, they're not thinking, oh, dad is going to scold me. He's going to scold me. Or how is he going to react to this? How is he going to feel towards me? I just want them to not walk on eggshells and just be okay. And just, just try their best to figure out things and go through each day and just live and know that dad loves them and is proud of them. That dad will correct them when they do if they're lazy or things like that, but not harping on them, not putting all this pressure, pushing them down, or pointing out all their faults, but that I would be very balanced and I would be a healthy dad, and they could remember me that way. Thank you for listening. God bless.